There's a book that's been praised like this. The process of reading it is like exploring the deepest depths of your soul. The deeper you go, the more darkness envelops you, allowing you to listen to your hidden emotions. Hey there. Welcome to Minera Mind, your space for sharing knowledge on holistic self-development through meaningful books, helping you become a better version of yourself every day. This week, I'm really excited to share with you a highly professional yet super easy to read therapy book called Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. Back in 2019, this book took over all the major bestseller lists right from the start, landing in the top 10 on Amazon and getting a shout out from Harvard as a trusted source of inspiration to read every year. The author, Lori Gottlieb, is a talented writer and a top-tier psychotherapist. After gaining experience as a screenwriter and television producer in Hollywood, she dove into medical school with fierce passion but later switched to psychology, earning a master's degree in clinical psychology. It's because she's a writer and screenwriter that the stories in this book are incredibly engaging and captivating. And since she's also a pro therapist, her memoir shares real stories from her patients. In the safe, cozy space of her therapy room, people show their most authentic and vulnerable sides. Through the author's storytelling, you'll get fresh perspectives to understand yourself better. This book includes 5 stories, with 4 focusing on her patients and, most notably, one about her own psychological healing journey. It's pretty mind-blowing that even an expert like her had to find someone to talk to. So, maybe you and I should look for a trusted person to chat with right now. But if you can't find anyone, no sweat, you still have yourself. And this book will be your buddy, guiding you to the best healing path for you. And no matter what, as psychologist Carl Jung put it, daring to face your soul is the first step to waking up. And the only one who can truly heal your wounds is always you. Let's keep this journey rolling together. Hit like to see John rediscover his light, subscribe to unlock self-healing secrets, and turn on the bell so you don't miss any inspiring stories. Psychologists have noticed that life throws 4 major challenges at each of us. These affect all of us every single day. These 4 challenges include loneliness, death, restricted freedom, and meaninglessness. No one can escape the rule of suffering. Those pains are compared by psychologist and author Lori to demons living inside each of us, demons that can be big or small, new or old, quiet or noisy, always shifting yet ever present. Our essence still boils down to 4 life themes: loneliness, death, restricted freedom, and meaninglessness. In psychology, these are also known as the 4 existential challenges. Take a moment to breathe and think about these 4 aspects in a person's life. First up is loneliness, like that lost feeling after losing a job. There's a true saying, no one is an island. But everyone can become an island at some point. That's what loneliness feels like. If you sink into loneliness for too long, you might fall into despair, paranoia, or even hallucinations. Pause and reflect on that. Check out the next part to find ways to overcome it. Keep watching to hear a story of someone who conquered loneliness. Next is death. People often see life as a one-way train ride, with death as the final stop. When it's time to get off, people hesitate. They fear losing everything, regretting, or seeing the end of family and career, like the worry of losing a loved one to a serious illness. Then comes restricted freedom. When we're born, we're like a blank slate, packed with endless possibilities. But as we grow up, social and family pressures start boxing that freedom in. Have you ever felt that way? You can learn to heal yourself with small steps. Watch on to learn more. Lastly, there's meaninglessness. It's that empty vibe after a big failure. The psychology legend Freud believed people chase happiness and dodge pain. But the famous psychologist Viktor Frankl said the real drive to move forward comes from pursuing life's meaning. When someone doubts their purpose or can't find a reason to live, they can easily get discouraged, even slipping into the depths of despair. These 4 challenges are something we might spend our whole lives seeking answers for. They bring suffering, but they also hold the key to a fresh start for a more meaningful life. On this journey, we learn to grow and heal ourselves. Finding answers through therapy helps free you from pain and reconcile with yourself. Let's explore how therapy can ease your stress today. Psychologist Irvin Yalom says that therapy is an existential experience of understanding yourself. It helps you face the 4 core challenges of life, sparking change and turning you into a better version of yourself. In simple terms, it's about freeing yourself from pain, helping you break out of difficulties and helplessness. It might not fix every tough problem, but it shifts how you see the world, finds solutions, and makes life less messy and less painful. Watch on to discover 5 real-life stories of overcoming these challenges. You'll see that grown-ups all have the power to heal themselves. Meet John. He's a handsome and successful Hollywood producer. He's snagged multiple Emmy Awards, the highest honor in American television. He has a gorgeous wife and 2 lively daughters. To outsiders, John looks like the ultimate winner in life. But the truth is, his situation is pretty rough. Lately, he's been under a ton of pressure. He can't sleep well, his marriage is tense, his kids don't respect him, his boss demands a lot, his coworkers drag down his performance. From the start, Dr. Lori didn't vibe with John. He's arrogant and rude. He treats his coworkers like idiots, and even Lori feels insulted by him. After their first therapy session, John hands Lori a stack of cash and says, "You're like my mistress or a call girl. I didn't pick you to be my secret beauty." His harsh words imply she's not pretty enough. Have you ever met someone arrogant, hiding deep pain? Keep watching to find out. Facing John's rude attitude, Lori silently repeats compassion to herself to hold back her dislike and push the therapy forward. Over time, she realizes it's just a mask. Beneath his cold exterior lies extreme loneliness. When she learns John loves his dog Rosie, Lori says, "You really love Rosie." John blushes, awkwardly denying it. It's just a dog. But his eyes reveal a profound sadness. This is the turning point. John, once closed off, starts opening up with his emotions. Why is he so emotionally numb? It's a stress response to a major trauma. Too many negative emotions make people avoid them. With Lori's patience, John dares to share his pain. He believes he killed his son Gabe. In a car accident, if he hadn't been distracted by a call, Gabe wouldn't have died. His wife isn't depressed. She cries and yells, "You idiot, you killed Gabe." As a father, John is devastated. He wants to cry, but for his young daughter's sake, he holds it in. Negative emotions need to be released. Crying helps let go of regret and sadness, but John doesn't cry. His pain builds up, turning into a black hole inside him. He still goes to work, attends parties, and watches football. His wife sees him as emotionless. Only he knows his heart is bleeding. He wants to die every day. So, he wears a mask, cuts off his feelings, and becomes the loneliest guy in the crowd. In Lori's room, John relaxes and breaks down sobbing. He roars, curses, laughs like crazy, then sobs uncontrollably. Lori stays quiet, knowing he's battling his inner demons. Finally, he wipes his tears and says, "Sorry, I've fallen apart." Lori replies, "You haven't fallen apart. You're reborn." His crying shatters the silence. He drops the mask, escaping loneliness. He starts enjoying his family, Rosie, writing Emmy-winning scripts, making friends, and opening up. Gabe is no longer a wall but a bond that ties him to his wife. They watch old videos together, cry, then laugh. John's story isn't just his own. Many of us wear masks, push people away, and fear breaking down. But avoiding it turns us into lonely islands. Try crying to let it out, like John. Watch on to learn how to drop the mask. Tell me, have you given it your all? Take off the mask. Show your real emotions. When the knot in your heart unties, the sunlight breaks through. You escape loneliness and step back into a world of love and warmth. So, are you ready to face your truth? Death isn't about self-destruction. Death isn't the end either. The second story is about Julie, a 33-year-old university professor. She's at the peak of her happiness. After enjoying an amazing honeymoon with her husband, Julie has just earned the title of professor. She's also pregnant with her first child, but dark clouds suddenly rolled in. She's diagnosed with breast cancer. Julie turns to Dr. Lori for support to get through this tough time. Facing pain that feels like hell, Lori doesn't just offer empty comfort. Instead, she works with Julie on practical stuff. They decide between a wig or a headscarf after chemo. They talk about managing her marriage and handling conflicts with parents or other relationships. They also figure out how to deal with work. After a few months of intense treatment, Julie gets good news. The cancer cells are temporarily gone. To celebrate, she and her husband ride a hot air balloon. They hold hands while watching the sunset 1,000 meters up. But 6 months later, Julie returns to the clinic looking totally worn out. Not only has she been diagnosed with another type of cancer, but her life feels unstable. Her journey is like a roller coaster, up one moment, crashing down the next, with no steady ground. During her time with Julie, Lori feels like she's been through a life and death struggle. She witnesses the unpredictability of fate. The author, Lori, even breaks down crying and feels hopeless at times. Have you ever faced a surprise like Julie's? Keep watching to find a way through. So, what can we do to keep fate from taking over? Julie eventually finds her own answer. Life comes with uncertainty. The only way to fight that uncertainty is to live in the present. That's the truth. The past is gone. The future hasn't arrived yet. The only thing we can truly control is each second, each minute of the now. So, don't let yourself drown in the past. Don't fear the future. Just keep walking this path carefully and soak it all in. You can always step into your own tomorrow. Julie's been hit hard by fate with sudden, intense challenges, but every moment of her life is packed with excitement and charm. She truly lives it out. Julie tries working as a cashier at a supermarket. She sees it as a practical way to connect and help people directly. Then she starts a book club. She helps friends with adult college entrance exams and chats online with students. Not only did she plan a unique memorial for herself, but she also says goodbye to the world with tons of personality. Even more, she helps her husband set up a dating profile to find a worthy successor. Even in her weakest moments, Julie made sure every second mattered. A Disney movie once had a line like this: "I always thought the opposite of love was not loving, but now I realize it's forgetting." Julie's story isn't just hers. Many of us face an uncertain future too. Julie leaves behind beautiful memories for those she loves. Her life's journey is far from its final stop. Death isn't about self-destruction. Death isn't the end. It's the biggest lesson in everyone's life. Look at a truth of the present. We're living in a process, always moving toward death. Life is full of surprises. Many think the future stretches long ahead. But how can we predict when the next turn might bring a sudden disaster? Instead of living in fear, let go of those hang-ups. Be brave and choose what matters to you. That way, you won't regret while you're alive or leave in pain. Your personal struggles are yours alone. Try living fully today, like Julie. Let's keep this journey going to discover more ways to live meaningfully. So, what about you? Are you ready to live today, fully, like Julie? Death isn't the end. The third story is about Rita, a 69-year-old woman. On the outside, she looks younger than her age, but her slow, weak steps are classic signs of depression. Rita's life has been a string of failures. Since childhood, she lived unhappily with her parents. To escape, Rita dropped out of school and rushed into marriage. At first, she was thrilled, but soon, Her first husband revealed his addiction and abusive nature. She wanted to leave, yet, with no education or skills, she convinced herself to stay. At least it kept her kids fed, clothed, and living in a big house with a pool, attending good schools. Have you ever feared happiness? Keep watching to overcome it. Things got even worse. Her 4 children faced one crisis after another. One fell into drug addiction. Another got locked up. One took their own life. The last one kept suffering. At that point, Rita stopped kidding herself and decided to divorce. But afterward, she went through 2 more failed marriages. Rita spent her life doing jobs she didn't enjoy. Her kids grew distant, rarely checking in. She often hid at home, peeking at the neighbors across the street. She felt both admiration and envy that was a happiness she'd never tasted. Not long ago, Rita met a man who made her heart skip a beat. But before she could say anything, he turned away and chose a younger woman. That deepened her insecurity. So, Rita sought Dr. Lori for therapy. She felt that if her life didn't change, she'd end it all. During therapy, whenever she choked up crying, Rita didn't use the fresh tissues on the table. She just wiped her tears with an old, damp cloth in her hand. Even when Lori came close and offered new tissues, she wouldn't take them. Why did Rita act so strangely? Dr. Lori believes it's because Rita always felt unworthy. Deep down, she thought she didn't deserve good things, not even a single tissue. This condition, in psychology, is called the fear of happiness. It makes people see the world through a lens of lack, feeling abandoned, betrayed, or rejected like an empty void. Those who fear happiness won't let joy reach them, but pain clings tight and won't let go. Rita's fear stems from heavy guilt. She sees herself as a terrible mom, failing to protect her kids from her first husband's abuse. Whenever he turned violent, she hid in her room, drinking herself into a stupor to numb the pain. She thought shutting the door, ignoring it, would stop the hurt. But why didn't a mom protect her kids? The truth is, she envied her own children. She envied their comfortable lives, sibling love, parental care, and abilities, things she never had. When they suffered, she didn't help, letting her jealousy take over. Unlike Rita's insecurity, her fear of happiness leads us to another story about lost freedom, featuring Charlotte, a 25-year-old woman. Charlotte has a sharp fashion sense. She graduated from a top school and works at a finance firm, with plenty of friends and admirers. Still, she's always anxious and worn out by work, struggling to get along with her parents. She's hooked on alcohol and jumps from one boyfriend to another. In them, she sees echoes of her addicted, depressed mom and her indifferent dad. Psychologist Freud called this repeating behavior. People hurt in childhood are drawn to familiar situations. They fantasize that these scenarios can heal old wounds, but it backfires. Those childhood scars reopen, causing even more pain. A French philosopher once said, "Hell is other people." But the author of this book argues that we are our own inner prison. Trapped in past obsessions, we become the obstacle to moving forward. Rita punishes herself by putting herself down. Meanwhile, Charlotte, scarred by her parents' cold neglect, craves attention and keeps repeating old wounds with booze and endless relationships. So, how can they save and renew themselves? The answer lies in bravely owning up. It's the start of change. Try facing your past, like Rita and Charlotte. Keep watching to learn how. With Lori's encouragement, Rita bravely owns her guilt. She opens up to the man she secretly loves, tests a new relationship, and makes new friends. Rita also reaches out to her kids more. On her 70th birthday, she gets an email from her daughter. Though her daughter doesn't forgive her, she says if her mom finds a healthy relationship, she'll try too. She doesn't want to be like her mom, waiting until 70 to change. That letter gives Rita courage. She leaves the darkness behind and pursues a healthy freedom. Charlotte also steps up. Lori shows her 2 paths. Keep staring at the past and self-sabotaging over it, or look ahead and build a mature future. In the end, Charlotte chooses the latter. Though she wavers many times, she slowly breaks free from the prison of her childhood wounds. She steps into a vast world of freedom, So, please remember this. True freedom comes only when you dare to step out, bravely own and face your past. Let's gently walk through those wounds together, heading toward a hopeful journey of freedom. So, what about you? Are you ready to face your past, too? Seek what truly matters to you. The final story dives into the meaning of life. The main character is the author of this book, renowned therapist Lori. Now, over 40, she's blindsided by her boyfriend's betrayal. He says he doesn't want to live with her kids. Then he walks away irresponsibly. Lori is furious. She calls him a man who hates her children. She can't wrap her head around it. She's angry and heartbroken. Finally, she steps into a familiar therapist's office for help. With the doctor's support, Lori realizes the breakup isn't the real reason for her negativity. Her midlife crisis hits way harder than losing a relationship. Have you found meaning in your life yet? Stay tuned to explore. Even though she's past midlife, Lori still feels lost about the future. She fears missing life's last train. She worries her life might turn meaningless. In reality, she's been chasing life's purpose since her early years. After college, she worked in Hollywood. She became an ace screenwriter. She felt she was crafting stories with depth. But when she joined a television project about ER life, she saw a doctor's work as more meaningful and grand. So, she ditched all her achievements. She fought to get into med school. But med school left Lori disappointed. She grew frustrated with the hospital's rigid system. The 15-minute checkups barely let doctors listen to patients. Modern hospitals run on a controlled model. They limit visits to 15 minutes. They push doctors to rely on cold, machine data rather than patient feelings. Lori hated the assembly line treatment process. So, she dropped out. Later, she pushed to become a grad student in clinical psychology. She started her counseling career. Besides counseling, Lori kept writing books. She hit roadblocks with her writing. 2 years ago, she agreed with a producer to write a book on happiness. But as a single mom struggling to put food on the table for her kids, she felt she had no empathy or useful insight for that topic. Even if she finished, it wouldn't mean much. Just when she was wrestling with this, the man who hates her kids showed up. He brought hope. He pulled her from a spiral of meaninglessness. Maybe that's why Lori can't forgive him leaving. Without him, she's stuck facing this pointless work. Lori decides to finish that painful happiness book as fast as possible. Then, she shifts focus to truly meaningful tasks. So, she writes 2 hours a day. She prioritizes speed over quality. But when the book's down to its last chapter, she gets an email from her ex. He brags that a friend started working at his company. Lori finds it totally random. Why is he bragging about that? Aren't they done? Who cares about his friends or company? It makes no sense at all. But in that final thought, Lori has a breakthrough. Isn't her book just like that meaningless email? If it doesn't spark empathy or touch hearts, it's pointless. She doesn't want people to see her legacy like she sees that ex's dumb email. So, she bravely writes to the publisher to cancel the contract. She wipes it from her mind. Now, she starts chasing themes that really matter. Her writing passion roars back. It's free, relaxed, and electric, like a creative surge inside her. She says she must write what feels truly meaningful to the world. She has to stay true to herself. That's how Maybe You Should Talk to Someone was born. In 2019, this book truly saved and awakened millions worldwide. From Lori's journey, we see shared challenges. Maybe it's time to find someone to talk to. After reading this, most will feel life isn't easy. Loneliness, death, lost freedom, and finding no life's purpose, we all face these struggles. We crave connection but fear getting hurt. We're full of hope yet scared of an uncertain future. We know we should let go of the past but can't face the pain. So maybe it's time to find someone to talk to. You'll see some books lay out philosophies, views, and stories as proof. Others, like this one, build belief and a wake-up call from those tales. If this book sparks your interest, it means you're dealing with inner struggles. It's awesome if you have someone to open up to, but if you don't find the right person, no worries. What you really need isn't someone like Dr. Lori to face your past or solve today's problems. What you need is courage. So, don't feel down if you don't have the perfect person to talk to. You still have the wisdom Lori shares in this book and tons of other helpful reads. You've got videos spreading positivity, like what Minera Mind is doing. You carry bright sparks within you. And you've got yourself. It all comes down to one step, one thought. Be brave and take that step to love yourself. Try finding someone to talk to, as Lori suggests. Stick around to learn how. I hope you and I can bravely open the door to let go of the past. Let's move forward gently, step by step. It can also help us find our worth and purpose. We can live in the now, freer, wiser, and more adaptable in this unpredictable life. Thanks for tuning in. If you find this video helpful, share it with those who need it. Give me a like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications for the latest videos each week. Once again, thanks everyone, and catch you in the next ones. So, are you ready to talk to someone? Let's do this together.